everyone.
What's up guys, Unofficial MCU here. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be talking about a major Secret Invasion spoiler. So if you haven't completed the show already, click off, go watch it. That season finale was honestly amazing. You can also check out our review video for the season finale here on the channel as well. That there being said, let's go ahead and talk about it. Secret Invasion director confirms exactly when RHODEY became a Skrull. The director behind Secret Invasion opened about RHODEY / War Machine being a Skrull and exactly when he was replaced. Of course, I speculated and talked about this plenty in our review video here on the channel for the finale, but this is just one of those things that deserves its own separate video. I mean, this is just such a big thing, I feel like, for the MCU. Across Secret Invasion, Don Cheadle's James Rhodes, aka War Machine, was one of the most theorized characters to be a Skrull imposter, and we were proven right about that theory. And sure enough, the theories paid off, as it was revealed that the Skrull Rava was impersonating him. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige didn't give an exact time frame on RHODEY's replacement, but did suggest that he had been a Skrull for at least one of his prior MCU appearances, his last being in the 2021's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Don Cheadle had also recently commented on his game-changing twist, calling the experience fun, after Feige previously stated how the actor was very much into the idea. This year, all being said, when did RHODEY become a Skrull in Secret Invasion? Speaking in an exclusive interview with comicbook.com, Secret Invasion director Ali Salem opened up about the series' big reveal of RHODEY having been replaced by a Skrull, and even revealed exactly when the hero actually had disappeared. The director Ali Salem noted how RHODEY, wearing a hospital gown and having difficulty walking after he was woken up in the finale, points to his replacement coming after his injury during the events of Captain America Civil War, all the way back in 2016. He says that, in quote, "A lot of people have asked about definitely when did RHODEY, I think his leg's not working in the end of the episode 6, and him being in the hospital gown points to Captain America Civil War." Ending that quote right there, it is kind of just one of those things of where this director specifically and particularly isn't able to give that an indefinitive kind of answer. It's one of those bigger, larger questions, I feel like, which is a rare thing to come across in the MCU, don't get me wrong. That's something that needs to be explained by maybe multiple directors, multiple creatives, or even Kevin Feige himself. During the Avengers airport fight scene, though, in Civil War Captain America in 2016, War Machine was struck out of the sky by a stray blast from Vision's Mind Stone, which was instead intended to hit Sam Wilson's Falcon's wings. The power blast had hit the arc reactor on RHODEY's suit, thus making him crash down to Earth, where he was left severely injured and his spine was shattered, of where he was able to lose the ability to actually walk. Shortly after his injury in Captain America 3 Civil War, RHODEY appeared in the hospital going for an MRI scan, where he appeared to be wearing the same gown that Gaia rescued him in from the new Skrullos that we saw in the finale. This seems to suggest that RHODEY was replaced sometime between this hospital visit and when he was seen learning to use his bionic leg braces at Tony Stark's house towards the end of the 2016 blockbuster. However, the director Ali Salem was clear about how the exact moment of his replacement may not be a definitive, as fans can now go back and revisit every moment to develop their own theories on whether he was a Skrull. But the filmmaker did note how audiences may see that question answered in the Armored Wars movie, as he gives a little bit of a tease and says, in quote, "And from there, does it have to be definitive, or is it one of those more fun for the audiences to go back and revisit every moment, every RHODEY moment, and look at it with a different lens, now that they can think, oh, he might have been a Skrull there, and make that decision for themselves, or it'll be answered in Armored Wars," ending that quote right there. He just downright says it, or it'll be answered in Armored Wars. Now, if this director has anything to do with Armored Wars or going forward or anything like that, I'm not sure on. Maybe you guys might know, so let me know in the comment section down below. But I definitely think that would be a very interesting thing to see answered and at least discussed, and I think it will for sure be a huge thing, a huge topic, a huge narrative and plot point. The point of the movie, I think, even to a point, for Armored Wars, to talk more about RHODEY on and when he was kind of replaced and his time being out, because he doesn't know anything about Tony Stark, the events of Infinity War, Endgame, or anything in between with that, which is insane insane to talk about and kind of even think about at that. He honestly kind of got that Captain America treatment of crashing into the ice and being frozen for like 100 years, waking up and nothing is the same. The clues on RHODEY's walking and his attire combined with Ali Salem's comments may ultimately be the closest fans catch to an explanation of his replacement and when it all happened. Unless, of course, Marvel opts to dive into that once again in his upcoming solo movie, Armored Wars, where he will have to readapt to a world after missing a few years. If RHODEY was actually replaced in Civil War, he was not only just out of the action through the blip and the Battle of Earth, but also the death of one of his closest friends, Tony Stark, among other members of the Avengers too. All of these events and losses will leave him plenty to catch up on, and when his Armored Wars movie rolls around. Marvel Studios already confirmed how Armored Wars will revolve around Tony Stark's technology falling into the wrong hands, and how that's going to be a pivotal plot point for the overall movie. If RHODEY has been a shape-shifting imposter all this time and still has access to his War Machine suit, perhaps it may be the Skrulls he has to recover this advanced technology from. We don't know where his War Machine suit is, or along with any of the other Tony Stark, tech is necessarily during this time period. It very well could still be in the hands of Skrulls, especially as, now, as we also saw with the season finale of Secret Invasion, Skrulls are a big threat towards Earth, or kind of has, deemed them as a threat and an all-out war on them, wanting to remove them, and it's caused a lot of chaos among normal everyday civilians now attacking other normal civilians, in spite of thinking that they might be Skrulls. As of for now, Armored Wars has yet to be and have an official release date, since it was upgraded from a Disney Plus series to a big screen movie. Exactly what we all want. There were also reports it was to set filming as early as end of this year, so it could be here sooner than later than we initially thought. But with the ongoing writer and actor strikes, it may be pushed back to early 2024, likely landing at some point in 2026, 2025 maybe. And so in many ways, RHODEY's crippling injury and the Avengers' ongoing civil war provided the Skrulls an easy opportunity to replace not just a superhero, but a high-ranking colonel and an important figure in US politics. During this time, RHODEY was not only crippled himself and thus easy to abduct, but the Avengers were perhaps too preoccupied at that with their ongoing conflict and the ongoing Sokovia Accords to notice the Skrulls taking him away. After his injury, RHODEY was often spotted wearing leg braces, developed by Tony Stark, which allowed him to resume walking. These braces may have been simply redundant, as this was actually a perfectly healthy Skrull after all, or perhaps the shape-shifting process also carried over RHODEY's injuries. That's something that's kind of unknown, and I don't think that would necessarily correlate. I think it's pretty clear and cut that the Skrull was able to get rid of those injuries after shape-shifting. Essentially what this article is implying is that when the Skrull took over RHODEY's body and took his identity, it also took along his injuries. I don't think that's necessarily the case. It is also worth noting that while the director Ali Salem hints RHODEY was replaced after Captain America Civil War, he avoids giving any solid answer. Having suffered such a major injury, the Avenger likely attended regular hospital appointments for checkups and scans, so in theory, he may still have been replaced at a later point.